What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. And in the area of being super late on things. Here I am being super late on reviewing Mufasa, The Lion King. I just didn't catch it when it was in theaters. Honestly, I just wasn't that interested in it. I think the original animated version is one of the greatest animated films of all time. I thought the remake, while technically fine, it lacked heart. It lacked the feels that you get in the first one. It was just lacking. So I just wasn't really interested in Mufasa. Well, my daughter went to see it with her friend, and she loved it. And I was like, that's great. I'm glad you loved it, you know? Anytime my kid comes home from the movies and says that movie was great, I love it because I want my kids to have an appreciation for film that I do. But again, I just wasn't feeling it. So it dropped on Disney Plus, and I decided, my daughter really wanted to watch it with me. So I decided, okay, let's sit down, let's watch this. I'm not paying any money to watch this other than the subscription that I already have. So let's sit down and watch this. We popped up some popcorn, got some soda, I usually don't drink soda. Usually don't let my kids drink a lot of soda, but I went out and got a 2-liter. And we sat down and we watched Mufasa. And okay, this is going to sound bad, but it wasn't very good. But it was much better than I thought it was going to be. So I thought that this movie was going to be a complete waste of time that retcons The Lion King and basically tells a story that was either going to be a rehash or something that I just wasn't interested in the first place. And again, I didn't care for this movie. I felt like making Mufasa this orphan who becomes a king kind of stripped Mufasa from who he was, right? That speech that he gives in the original Lion King, the kings of the past look down upon us. For Mufasa struck me as this person, right? As this lion that had a regal bloodline, a royal bloodline, and was always meant for royalty. And because he was always meant for royalty, he has that air of royalty about him. And that story of Mufasa being this regal this regal lion who is meant for royalty, born into royalty, raised to be royalty, and ultimately becoming that, then who Simba becomes in The Lion King is more impactful because it's Simba literally taking his spot. It's literally Simba stepping back into the role that he was destined for. So in Mufasa, him becoming an orphan who was never destined for royalty and then becoming a king kind of strips away that moment when Simba becomes king. Because Simba was never meant to become king, because Mufasa was never meant to become king. I don't know, it just feels, him being an orphan just kind of strips away the importance of Mufasa in the original film. And, I'm not somebody who's like, man, I wish the United States had a king. That's not me. I like the system the way it is. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that when you read some of the great stories in literature, kings can be great. I think of King Theoden right off the top of my head. Kings can be great. And they can have a certain level of honor and devotion to their people. And that's what Mufasa had in the original was a sense of honor and devotion to his and people. And he bestowed in Simba the lessons that he learned from his dad, who was also king, or so we thought. Turns out he wasn't king. I think on a technical basis, again, Mufasa was fine. The story, if it wasn't connected to The Lion King, it would have been fine. The story of an orphan who becomes a king. That is a valid story to tell. But in the context of the original Lion King, everything about this story now lessens that story. And that makes me like Mufasa less. Mufasa the character, and Mufasa the movie. So like I said, it was all technically fine. You know, the animation was fine, the voice acting was fine, some of the, you know, the action was fine. I mean, it was fine. But when you connect it to the original Lion King, it's not good, and it makes the original Lion King worse. I had fun watching it with my daughter, though. You know, anytime I can sit down and share a movie that my daughter loves, I'm gonna have fun doing that. But looking at it as a film, it just didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. Scar had reason to be mad. Scar had reason to be mad. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't care for it. Like I said, I had fun watching it with my daughter. I'm glad I watched it. I'll never watch it again, but you know, I had fun watching it because of the company I was with. So that's my take on Mufasa the Lion King. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Am I completely off base here? Did I miss something that you caught? I don't know. I just watched it once, so maybe on repeat viewings I might look at it different, but unfortunately there probably won't be repeat viewings. So let me know if you think I missed something. And while you're down there commenting, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.